In order to support our show, we need the help of some great advertisers. And we want to make sure those advertisers are the ones that you actually want to hear about, but we need to learn a little bit more about you to make that possible. So go to podsurvey.com/binge-watchers and take a quick, anonymous survey that will help us get to know you better. That way we can bring on advertisers you won't want to skip. Once you've completed the quick survey, you can enter for a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Terms and conditions apply. Again, that's podsurvey.com/binge-watchers. podsurvey.com/BINGEWATCHERS. Thanks for the help.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge Watchers Podcast.
My preference was always to work late at night or the mid shift. I don't know why the whole world, all of society, or at least in America, it's like, you got to do a 9 to 5. You know, everybody's like, got to cash in the checks, pay the taxes, earn a living.
I started at 5 a.m. or started at 6 a.m. It's like, why? That's a miserable life.
It is miserable, but you know what? If you have to be up that early, you can listen to our podcast. That's the only saving grace is you can listen to Johnny Spoiler, Nikki Lates, and Dangerous Dave all day fucking long. We're swearing again. I don't know. We have a code of conduct, but I broke it already. What, Dave? What are we in? 5 seconds? 10 seconds?
I don't know. I noticed you broke it last week.
You noticed it last week?
I know. I was the one who broke it last week. I got myself mid-show.
We slipped a little bit, but tonight I'm angry because my webcam is broken. So I'm using the AirMac or AirBook camera. Yeah. And we're probably not going to get an Apple endorsement after this, but this is a really shitty camera to put in an expensive Apple computer. What the hell are you doing, guys? Frustrating the hell out of me. Anyway, all right, let's get right into it. So Nikki Lace doesn't make a comment tonight that you were great. It's about 100,000 downloads later on another episode. And Dave's keeping the audio. He's keeping the audio to be dangerous.
By the way, I did not, last week's episode, I did not know I was being recorded yet, but I actually thought it was dangerous that you did that. And I love it. If anyone wants to watch that episode, go back. It was just raw and real, and I love it.
All I can say is AAWR. Always assume we're recording.
Always look for that line. Second I see you guys.
Oh, man.
I was talking about how as a virgin, it's a long story.
Yeah, he made it. Nick made a joke while he was trying to break in a new microphone. He made a joke about virginity, and then probably revealed too much about his own plumbing. And that's how we were just And then if you're really paying attention,
how to use the microphone. Yeah. I was a virgin. Yeah.
What you should really be paying attention to is the fact that we're covering these classic horror movies and comparing them to their modern remakes. But first, let's jump into some home video headlines. We're actually only one episode away from breaking 1 billion downloads, which is
really
an insane stat. One episode. So last week's episode, when it breaks 100,000, we'll have broke 1 billion downloads of the Binge Watchers podcast.
That is freaking incredible.
Well, we're not going to toot our own horns and drop our own headlines. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. So the next thing we want to talk about is
toot it.
Well, we just did. Toot toot.
Sorry, I have kids. I'm always toot toot toot. Yeah.
There's clickbait going around that Stephen King wants to write a novel from Jason Voorhees' POV for Friday the 13th. So I'm thinking Stephen King, all right, cool. Writing a camp blood story in the mind of Jason. Me personally, I would love a comedy from Jason's perspective, honestly. Because if he's not having fun slashing his way through camp blood, I don't know who can. But what do you guys think? Stephen King book about Jason?
I'm in.
Dave, you go first.
Yeah, I'd read it. Why not?
Nice.
I'd love to see what Stephen King could do with that kind of. I can't think of any if he's done any novels on somebody else's material or IP as they call it now.
I just think I think Jason's so simple that I wouldn't want to know the aspects of what he's thinking. If that makes sense. I think he's scarier, like Michael Myers, where you don't know. So
except for in Freddy versus Jason, we got into his head a little bit.
We got in the water stuff, yeah. But then again, that's kind of BS too, because he's always in the water. Part 6, he was.
Oh, Dave's cats are really acting up tonight.
Dude, it's this new microphone it's picking. Now I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to put him in.
Is he in the room? We got a mascot on
picking it up from outside.
Holy
Dave,
shit!
how many cats
That's like
got,
an endorsement for these microphones.
I have 2 dogs. How many cats you got?
Maybe the cat is actually listening can hear the microphone, and he's like, "Who are these fucking guys?" Like,
they're like, "I have thoughts on Stephen King writing Jason."
Yeah. Did you guys hear about Madonna had turned down 3 major roles? She turned down The Matrix, playing Catwoman in Batman Returns, the Michelle Pfeiffer part, and Dave, this is gonna get your nipples hard. She turned down Showgirls, which would be where's the camera? The third. Honestly, maybe I'm a horn dog, but I think like I'd love to see her as Catwoman or Showgirls. And if she wants to do a stage show today as Catwoman, but in Vegas, I'm buying a ticket. It's done.
See that.
I think the first
Nick's out. Nick's out. Nick's like, I don't care.
No.
Nick's like, I don't care how famous she is.
This is not Madonna and Dick Tracy. I'm just saying, like, it's not the same Madonna. Yeah.
I think the first 2 movies are better off for not having her in it, but Showgirls with Madonna, I'd be interested to see how that would have happened.
I mean,
Nick's not even going along for the comedy. He's like, I'm done. I'm out.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
You must really hate Madonna.
Michelle Pfeiffer, don't necessarily... Batman. Like, yeah, no, I can. I'm going for that. Yeah.
What about old Pfeiffer then? They made a rap song about her, so she's still clearly got some guys' attentions.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Now you guys probably don't know this next one because I don't think you guys are Marvel fans or comic fans. We'll see. So Guardians of the Galaxy is going to cast Will Poulter, or Will Poulter, whatever, as Adam Warlock. Now, in the comics, Adam Warlock is a dude. Depending on which version of his origin story you watch, like he's like either an ancient eternal being that floats around space, kicks ass, or he's like the product of some cloning. But he has like Thanos level powers, right? He's like on that level. Okay. So, but he's a really cool character. If they bring him in, I'd. What else? I mean, what else can you do? There's not much you can do with Guardians of the Galaxy left. They're doing a Christmas special though, or some kind of holiday special. Yeah.
I heard so
going to be the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I don't know.
I honestly, I kind of gave up on Marvel after Endgame, so I'm kind of lost on where they're at right now. So I don't know. Just saying.
We just took away 3 binge watchers points. Don't worry.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I thought I was harsh against Marvel.
No, I'm not harsh. I just was like, that was the perfect ending. I feel like it needs to like stop. I don't know. Just
not make any more movies at all, or like
no. I just feel like it was my end point. Like,
okay, fair enough. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, tonight's movies. Where we've arrived. Okay, guys, the main event, the feature presentation. We're covering House on Haunted Hill, 1959. And House on Haunted Hill, 1999. We're gonna try to give the movies some separation and cover them in order, not to like. Then we'll do an overall rating to compare the two. But I noticed like last couple of weeks we're jumping around a lot. And I'm like, oh, let's make it easier on the audience to like follow along, pay attention. So we're gonna kick off House on Haunted Hill 59, which is about a millionaire. He offers $10,000 to 5 people who agree to be locked in a large, spooky rented house overnight with him and his wife. David, you got some trivia or stats on this movie?
I do. So this was directed by William Castle, who was also a pretty big horror producer in the 50s and 60s. He was actually known as the king of the gimmick because he would do things like different marketing tricks, such as having nurses sign up people for life insurance before seeing the movie in case they die of fright, or the Tingler, which was like this alien that would like buzz you. So he would have these like vibrating motors under certain seats in movie theaters that like the Tingler's getting you. But for House on Haunted Hill, he used something called a Murgo, which was just really a plastic skeleton that would come out during the climax of the movie. And for those who've seen it, you should know which part. It was called a Murgo because it came out in real life, I guess.
That's all cool. I'm down for that. That's like a 4D experience, right?
Right. Yeah, it kind of was the precursor to 4D. So this was actually a pretty big box office hit for the time, and Hitchcock, of course, took notice, and actually this inspired him to do Psycho. So without this, we may not have gotten Psycho, believe it or not.
Oh, did it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So Vincent Price was actually passed over on a role by on another William Castle movie, but Castle had him in mind for this movie. And over coffee, he decided to sign on to this and The Tingler, which came after this. I guess he was kind of pissed off that he didn't get to do the other movies with them. So Cassandra Peterson, or Elvira, as most people know her, has noted this as being her favorite horror movie. Said this years ago on Larry King Live. So at the very beginning of this movie, you hear a lot of screams, chains, ghostly sounds. The effect was so popular that this movie actually inspired all the novelty records and CDs and cassettes that you could buy of just like Halloween sounds. So whenever you go into a Spirit of Halloween and you see a CD for, like ghostly sounds, basically this movie is responsible for that. And the wife in the movie, and this one we're talking about the first one. The wife, the actress Carol Omhart, who was the wife in the first movie, is actually a famous pinup girl and model of the 40s and 50s. So she's probably on like bomber pilots' lockers.
So get your motors running, boys.
Yeah, get those motors running, guys. Watch that House on Haunted Hill.
I guess we're at favorite bits, right?
Yeah, so I guess, Nick, did you watch this one, Nick?
Oh, hell yeah, I did. My favorite bits are actually anything with Vincent Price and the skeleton. I love the 50s skeleton. It's so cheesy.
So at one point, a skeleton rises from a vat of acid.
Yeah. And it just like chases the lady.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So good. It's so
I'm writing down Nick loves skeletons. I love
skeletons, guys. Yeah. If you put skeletons, I'm on board.
He's gonna trick or treat at your house. You put out a skeleton.
It just makes it like it seems like something I would make today. I'm like, oh, this is this cheesy skeleton. I'm like, genius, guys. You guys nailed it. Yeah.
Dude, side note, like this is unplanned, but like I went to and ate at a restaurant this morning, and like to space out the seats, they just had plastic skeletons in the spots you're not supposed to sit on.
Oh
like
my God.
Sitting there reading menus.
A picture of that. I would love to see that. That's genius.
I should have taken a picture. Yeah.
Go back, please.
Dude, I love Dave mentioned already the opening, like the spooky sounds they play. It sounds like somebody's being murdered at the beginning of the movie, and then it's like you're invited to a party at the House on Haunted Hills. Like, what a way to set the mood, like right as the movie starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm probably stepping on what Dave's gonna say. I jumped.
No, that's fine. No, I mean that opening is pretty great. Actually, there's a couple bits I like. Like this, I have a weird history with this movie. I remember seeing this on like AMC when I was 12 because. My favorite moment was something I saw in a commercial, and I still, to this day, kind of creeps me out. But like towards the end, there's a scene where a rope is acting like a snake curling around a woman's leg, and I don't know what about that image, but like something about that stuck with me all these years.
But by the way, how did they do that?
Hey, it's Johnny Spoiler here, and boy, do I have an offer for you today. In fact, it might just help you out. I'm talking about BetterHelp. H-E-L-P, BetterHelp. Whether you're struggling with grief, relationships, or stress, or having trouble sleeping or meeting goals, online therapy might be for you. Now, BetterHelp is secure online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with a licensed professional therapist. You know what? One can really appreciate BetterHelp when you think about what it'd be like if you wanted to reach out, were afraid to reach out, but needed to talk to somebody, and who would you talk to? I mean, I got some great co-hosts on the Binge Watchers podcast, and I can always reach out to them, but if I didn't have them, the thought of just sitting in a room and not being able to talk to somebody about things I needed to get off my chest, I wouldn't know where to turn. So then looking at BetterHelp, it's a great place to turn. BetterHelp can assess your needs and match you with your licensed therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. The therapists have a broad range of experience that it's available either locally or in many areas, and the service is even available for clients worldwide as well. You can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional online therapy, and financial aid is even available. So go ahead, reach out today, visit betterhelp.com/watchers. Join over 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. The Binge Watcher podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners can get 10% off their first month of online therapy at betterhelp.com/watchers. That's better, H-E-L-P, baby. .com/watchers, betterhelp.com/watchers. Take control of your TV experience with Sling. Sling makes TV fair, flexible, and just flat out better. All at the same time with one simple and superior live TV service. Sling is the live TV solution you've been searching for, with fair prices, favorite channels, without any bloated packages or pesky contracts. With Sling, you can watch live sports, news, reality TV, dramas, and comedies you love. That also includes ESPN, TNT, AMC, HGTV, CNN, and more. Sling doesn't believe in a one-size-fits-all solution. You can build your perfect channel lineup for a more personalized TV experience, all for just $35 a month, and your first month is only $10. One of my favorite things about Sling is the mini channel collection that's set up to what I love. And with things like FX and Disney, what more do you need? It's actually the best streamers for cord cutters that are on a budget. Try it out. If you want to get started, all you have to do is go to sling.com. Sign up now. Your first month for only $10. That's sling.com.
I'm assuming probably stop motion animation or something.
Okay, no, but in terms of the storyline, it doesn't make sense. You know
well, no, I mean, you kind of go along for the ride with this.
I know you're going around. I'm like that.
Yeah,
doesn't.
Well, because
really
in the original, they never confirm where there's any ghostly activity because
exactly
the wife's trying to screw the husband over. Spoiler alert: the husband's trying to not get murdered by his wife, and he plans an elaborate trick to get out of her trap to kill him again, and she's trying to kill him the whole movie. Yeah, and someone may or may not be working with her in the party goers, but. Basically, so I wrote this down. I wrote within 20 minutes we get a vat of acid, which I thought was cool. If you watch the colorized version, it's like Wizard of Oz Technicolor. It's pretty awesome to see the green
black
acid.
and white. So I'm like, when John sent a video this week, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. One thing that bothers me is the owner Pritchett, he goes to the party as one of the 5 guests, and I wrote down, why didn't he just charge a rental fee for the house? Because why go back there, right?
Yeah.
Risk because he's convinced there's ghosts, right? Because his family was murdered there. Then he goes back, and I'm like, you need $10,000, dude. Why didn't you just charge them $10,000 to rent the house in the first place? Why are you there?
Yeah, they definitely make they explain that better in the sequel, or not the sequel, but the remake, or they make at least a better argument for him to be stuck there.
So in the second movie, we can already probably transition to the 99 movie if we want. Because
can I say one thing? How $10,000 seems like such little money nowadays compared to the $1 million.
Nowadays, of course.
Well, it'd be like the equivalent of in the second one it's $1 million.
If they remade it down,
no, it's probably closer to 100,000. But in the 99, which is about an amusement park mogul offers a group of diverse people, again a handful of people, $1 million to spend the night in a haunted house with a horrifying past. That's your cue, Dave. If you got trivia on this one.
Yeah. So we got facts on this one, and wow, my thing is okay.
Ladies and germs, we're actually not going to cut that cue out. We're just going to let it roll. If you're wondering.
Let it roll. Let it roll.
So the co-producer of this one, Terry Castle, is actually the daughter of the original producer-director William Castle, and as a gift, she gave the director of the 99 one, William Malone, one of William Castle's personal scripts for the original
director.
Movie. Yeah. He's a bit controversial today, but Marilyn Manson, his music is in this movie, and he was actually offered a role in the movie.
It's like the whole soundtrack. The whole soundtrack is Marilyn.
It opens and ends basically with Marilyn Manson.
When they drive up to the hotel or the place, it's all about it. Yeah.
But he was actually offered an acting role in the movie, but he couldn't do it at the time because of his busy tour schedule. Because that was the time of Marilyn Manson.
What part would he have played?
That I don't know. John asked me that too, and this was mentioned on the commentary, but they never said what role he was offered. So I mean, I imagine it was either, to my mind, it was either a character that they just dropped because he couldn't do it, or I could easily see him being the Bridget Wilson character, the news anchor. I could see him just replace that with the disgraced rocker or something.
Well, I thought he was going to be the freaking
the doctor.
No, the homeowner. He was going to be the guy that you know what I'm saying?
Chris Kattan?
Kattan character?
Yeah.
I could see him being that actually, or I could see him being the David Combs character.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out who they would want him as.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the character was dropped altogether. But of course, actually, probably the best performance in this movie, and actually, I'll all the actors bring their A game to this movie, but Jeffrey Rush had actually just come off of winning an Oscar and was actually nominated for another Oscar while he was filming this. However, like everybody noted, despite like his, like prestige of all these Oscars and nominations, he took this role just as seriously, was always tweaking the character, rehearsing between scenes. Actually, a lot of people thought he was just doing a straight Vincent Price impersonation, which actually he was not. He was actually doing a John Waters impersonation. It just so happened him doing John Waters comes off as Vincent Price. So it kind of worked out. And of course, the scene where Taye Diggs' character jumps into the vat or the blood tank, his stuntman who did that was like dyed red for days after doing that because of all the food coloring.
Gosh, really?
But what I found interesting is, like, I didn't realize this, but this movie actually has very few digital effects. Most everything you see is actually either done practically or optically. In fact, they were so effective that when William Malone, the director, was showing it to producer Joel Silver, he was asking, like, well, how much are these effects costing us? And he's like, free. Because, like, they did a lot of, like, stuff, like speed up frames or slow down frames, like just little different effects for the different scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, favorite bits, guys. We'll jump over to Nikki Late's first. What's your favorite bit from the 99 version?
So I don't know how to explain this, but Jeffrey Rush's character is putting on those things, and there's that spinning sequence.
His name is Stephen Price. They actually named him
Price. But I'm just saying, like, how do I explain that spinning sequence?
Like the zoetrope thing?
Yeah, it's like a zoetrope, right? And it's so beautifully done, and it's so out.
He gets locked in a torture chamber and starts imagining the ghosts coming to life,
like,
and
just these visuals are just so cool, and that's why I wish this director would make more movies.
Well, he bought. Well, that's we didn't put that in the.
Well, actually,
trivia,
I don't know.
Like,
okay.
The next movie is what ruined his career. Fear.com.
Oh well, Fear.com. Yeah, that
was awful.
Yeah, and that sucked. I agree. Yeah. But that whole sequence was so genius. I just felt.
Yeah. I guess I'll get into some of mine. I mean, this is actually it's kind of interesting because this is a style of horror movie you really don't see too often, which is like ultra stylized. Like this was, I think, a $40 million budget, and you can see the whole thing 40? On the screen. Yeah, it was something crazy. Like
I saw this in the theater twice.
Really?
Well, somehow they put together like a handful of these movies that all had a very similar visual style. They were coming out of this Dark Castle Productions, and they were remaking all these old movies. Like they did some other things.
13 Ghosts was next.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts. Yeah,
Ghost Ship, which I just told John beforehand I watched this weekend.
Best opening sequence ever, by the way.
Best opening sequence.
Best opening sequence. I'm just saying, horror opening. I love it. Yeah.
But some of my favorite bits in this is the psych out, or the when he's testing the new roller coaster, or
the roller coaster freak out.
Oh yeah, and then they like trip him out. Yes,
yeah, because that's the first time I saw this. I was just like the audience, like I didn't know it was a fake.
There was so that's good you brought that up because there's a famous cameo there. James Marster, who plays Spike from the Buffy the Vampire and Angel TV show, at the time was like the hottest he's ever been when he was on that show when they shot this. He was the video. He was the camera operator for the reporter. Like he's on the ride and thinks he's gonna die, and then the elevator falls, thinks they're gonna die, and it shows
how much Buffy I watched. But
I took away points from Nick earlier. Dave, you just watched. He only lost 3 points. You lost 10, buddy.
Yeah, I've seen some Buffy, just not the whole thing.
I'll be eating your fucking lunch after this. Okay.
Boom.
The other part that I thought was really cool was the scene with the news.
How many F-bombs is that, Nick? Are you keeping track?
I didn't keep track this time. I didn't.
All right.
No. But the camera, the psych out where she's looking through the surgery room, and there's nothing there, but through the camera there is
so good.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I had that type of camera in high school, that type of video camera. But there's something nostalgic and creepy about it.
I literally have it in the corner here. I feel like grabbing.
Dude, they were trying to sell that camera hard by featuring it in this movie. Like, we're gonna get like 10,000 of these Handycam orders. Oh my god!
They sold
like if you give me 30 seconds, I can find it. Yeah.
My favorite bit is actually the Ubergeist, which I'm coining the phrase. I don't know. It's like a super ghost made out of ghosts. Because in this one, in the remake, the ghosts are real. Yeah. And every time they kill somebody, it gets absorbed into this super ghost.
And that lasts like 5 minutes is actually really intense and really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's so funny is, like, believe it or not, there's like almost a similarity between the ending of this movie and The Thing from last week, just because it's like two people stuck, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. We're just here.
But I figure they're gonna find their way. Like someone's gonna find them on like some.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna get out of it, and like they have they have these cashier's checks they can't cash because they can't get down. They could drop into the water, but it'll ruin the checks. They won't be able to cash them because they'll get wet and ruined. You know, if they jump into
that, yeah.
Overall ratings. Now we're gonna compare 59 to 99. So we'll go your overall stats here. Yeah, Nick first. Yeah,
I would do binge now for the 50s version for sure. I would love. I recommend this completely. I love it.
What about the 99?
Oh! I didn't know we were doing both at the same time.
Sorry. I don't know.
90,
no, it's overall. 90. He selected the 59 over it. It's overall.
No, actually, no, I thought we were doing both. Okay, actually, I would recommend 99 over 59, or whatever I would recommend the 99.
He's saying binge 99 now.
I didn't know which one we were doing. I would recommend the 90s version any day. I would totally watch this movie. It's great.
All right.
Okay.
I will say binge now, the 99, binge later, 59. And, you know, I'm going to say binge later, Return to House on Haunted Hill, the sequel to the 99.
You can't do that.
I haven't seen it, but I want to. So that's why I'm saying binge later, because I'm going to binge it later.
No.
You can bring it up, but it's not being covered, so it can't be in the overall rating.
Okay,
the overall rating.
Fair enough. Then binge now, 99, binge later, 59.
All I will say about that sequel that they decided to make based on the 99 one, the Return to House on Haunted Hill, which is only a sequel to the 99 remake, is actually about the main ghost, which is the doctor who gets killed there and becomes a psychopath.
See, I need to buy the Blu-ray of it because it was one of those choose your own adventure movies.
It's better than it's probably better than the 99 one, actually.
Really? That's a bold statement.
So
really? Are you serious?
Yeah, so I'm actually tired of these movies. I don't think I'm ever going to watch them again. I accidentally texted someone. I'm going to cover this in fan service. I was trying to text you guys, and I texted somebody else. So if my overall rating is actually for 59, because you touched on it a little bit earlier, Nick, but when Vincent Price emerges from having survived, spoiler alert, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
He came out like a absolute boss, dude. Like he walked out and he's like, look, I rigged the whole thing. I'm alive. She's gone. I survived the nights, and like that was incredible. That was incredible. So I'm gonna go 59. I'm gonna go 59 over 99 for myself.
You might be selling me more on that. To be
moving into fan service, it's kind of related to how we just rated these movies. A friend of mine messaged me about The Thing because I had posted the artwork from our Thing episode, and then he said, "Oh yeah, The Thing 82, one of my favorites of all time. John Carpenter keeps ratcheting up the tension." We can all agree. I mean, we did a whole episode on it, so that's what he's responding to. Then. This one's great because this is about the joke we made with Nick in the beginning of the episode about last week's episode. A YouTube channel whose name is Welcome to Horror Town. They enjoyed the opening of last week's episode and decided to comment on it. This is what they wrote: "Ah ha ha ha! Laugh emoji, and rightly so because they're like, what a way to start! Ha ha ha! What a way to start!" And I agree and I'm thinking like we'd love to hear from you guys more often. So if you want us to review a movie. So I'm trying to. I'm like holding in the laughter right now, trying to get my next sentence out.
All right,
if you
John,
want us
can you explain what happened? Because
I already did. It's the beginning of this episode. So if you want us, what do you mean?
No.
You want me to
rap people episode?
Or no, just go to the episode.
Yeah, go to the episode. They can go. They can go watch it. They can go. It's the cat people one.
I was caught off guard. I thought I was talking.
What I will say,
I did not know I was being.
That YouTube channel is pretty cool. You know why? That YouTube channel is just reposting the Friday the 13th series, which is about like mystery investigations. Anyway, I'm getting all off track. So if you want to have us review a movie, shoot us an email or comment on the Castbox app, and then we'll reply to you and let you know if we're going to cover something or. We should. What I was thinking we were gonna do is like start doing mini reviews of the fan service submissions, right? When they're like, "Oh, you guys should cover Jaws 4, blah blah blah, cover this movie, man." So
I kind of did a month or so ago.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody gives us a list, we'll just drop them into fan service and be like, "Here's our 2 cents on this movie." Yeah. Not a staff picks. Did anybody, Nick? Did you watch anything else outside of having to review these 2 monster movies?
Guys, I have been joining the trend. Yes, I've been joining the trend. I've been watching Squid Games.
Oh,
you guys heard of this show on Netflix?
Yeah, I've almost pulled the trigger to convince me.
I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty fucking. Excuse me.
I'm pretty sure it was last week. Well, we mentioned Squid Games in our headlines.
No, you did. You did. And I didn't start watching it until this week.
Okay.
Because my lady's like, "Oh, do you want to watch it?" I'm like, "Let me give it a try."
Well, they're saying the subtitles are like not good. They're saying the subtitles are confusing people about what it's really about.
Subtitles do not match what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you can't do that because my lady likes to watch subtitles. I'm like, ugh, and they don't match. But as far as the show, it's pretty freaking good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm kind of sold on it.
Is it pretty uber violent?
Oh yeah, like you know what it is? It's like it's a slow burn.
It's more psychological, I think. It's more
psychological, and then once it hits, you're like, oh damn, you know, and he's just like, and the characters are kind of cool. It's a more character study piece, but I like it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like the little kid in the ice cream cone. There you are. You got a fresh ice cream cone. The ice cream falls off.
Yeah.
So that's the show. You hear a backstory of a character, and then boom.
And then it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. So I'm on episode 3. I don't know what happens after that. I think there's 9 episodes, but I'm on board. I'm just saying, check it out. I'm excited about it. Just saying.
Yeah, I might. Me and the wife have been talking about pulling the trigger on that because
go for it. I think it's worth it.
All right, maybe I'll have to. You might have pushed me.
Well, you can probably get through it in like maybe 4 days.
I mean, it's like 9 episodes. There's like 53-minute episodes. It's pretty easy to. You can
like a week.
We burn through Midnight Mass pretty fast. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure by next week I'll be like, all right, what did you watch, Nick? And I'll be like, watch this show, you know. Or if it bombs, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't watch this show. But yeah, I'm sold on it.
Nice. All right. And I watched a lot of stuff this week, nothing worth talking about. And then today I finally watched something that I'm like, wow, thank you for the show.
Give me time to laugh. Wait,
can you repeat that? Can you repeat that quote? That's actually
he literally said, he literally just said, oh, I watched a lot of things this week, but nothing worth talking about.
But then today, yeah. No, I mean, it's true. Like I watched a bunch of stuff like,
I'm just saying.
I watched Ghost Ship. And I'm not going to talk about it. I watched The Night House, kind of good, but it falls apart. But I finally watched some. What? Go ahead.
Ghost Ship, you can recommend the opening.
I can recommend the first 5 minutes, absolutely.
Exactly. Okay.
Watch it on YouTube. I'm sure it's there.
Yeah, I got you.
But no, I finally did watch something. And actually came. So this is like how John says he likes when people bounce off stuff that was brought up by you guys. I finally sat down because of you two. I finally watched The Ritual today. That movie's great. That movie is creepy as hell.
It's creepy as hell, right? It's good. It's
like I'm kind of pissed off because Netflix hasn't suggested it to me. Like when you guys mentioned, I'm like, what the hell is The Ritual?
You know what that means, dude? You know what that means? You don't watch enough British stuff.
I do watch a lot of. That's the thing that sucks is I do watch it. I watch a lot of horror and I watch a lot of British stuff, and yet it's only suggested it to me in like the last couple months. And then you guys said something about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. But like I noticed it's like 3 years old. I'm like,
how much My Little Pony is it suggesting for you, Dave?
Like I watched that 3 years ago. Like that's. Can I say one thing? How beautiful is the creature?
Right. Well, it is. Yeah.
I mean, it's creepy.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
No. I don't want to spoil it. Like, go watch.
No. I mean, it's almost a movie. I mean, we're talking a bit about it. It's almost worth doing an episode on. But I mean, we'll do that way in the future when we forgot about. We talked about it.
I would love to rewatch it.
No, it's really good. It's really tense and creepy. I watched that guy's. I said I watched The Night House, which is also from this director. It kind of parts of Night House kind of fall apart, but this one was beginning to end just tense. It felt. You know what? It felt like a Simon Pegg movie. Like think of something like The World's End, but take all humor out of it. Like a bunch of guys get together, shit happens, and but no humor.
Well, I mean, counterpoint, there is no humor at World's End or whatever the public.
I will agree with you. That was a bad example.
Yeah, that movie was. Yeah, that's.
I saw that in the theater. And I'm like,
that was forgettable. Yeah.
I'll give you $1,000 if you can name 3 people that are never making a movie together ever again. Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and what's the other guy's name? Who's the director?
Wright?
Yeah, Edgar Wright. Yeah.
No, they'll be fine. That I think it was still a big hit for them in England, which is where they make most of their money, anyways.
Hey Nick, since you're watching the list ahead of us, what are we doing next week?
Actually, I don't see it.
Did you watch anything, John?
Actually, to be honest with you, it says next week ... So I actually don't see it. I don't know.
Well, you mentioned it a couple weeks ago, for whether you realize it or not.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. Original and the 92 remake.
90s,
yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about this.
Which the 90s is really, I mean, we'll talk about it more next week, but it doesn't get its due.
The 90s version, actually, I love, but yeah. I watched the black and white version, so I'm going to rewatch the 90s version this week. I'm excited.
And now, I don't know.
By Tom Serafini, by the way.
Dave, have you watched the cartoon yet?
No, I'll probably watch it before next week and see if it's worth talking about.
There's a cartoon, right?
Yeah, and a couple years ago, there was a 3D version.
Oh, don't watch that. I saw it. Dude, this is how, oh my God. I actually took, me and my girlfriend at the time.
Talking about next week?
Huh? No,
yeah,
don't watch the 3D.
We should probably save our Night of the Living Dead stories for next week.
Right? All right. Versions are we talking about?
Yeah, just the good one.